Good morning. It's Wednesday, July 8th, and we're going to continue talking about action and duty with a prompt from the Daily Stoic, which reads, "What painful things can I take responsibility for?" So this year, back in January, for the first time, I invested time in developing a personal goal plan for the remainder of the year. I analyzed all the facets of my life which demanded attention, took stock of where I was at that moment relative to where I wanted to be, and mapped out a course of action to help me close the gap. Most of that process was pretty straightforward, but some aspects were quite uncomfortable to address. If I was being truly transparent with myself, as was the objective, I couldn't sweep unresolved messes under the rug any longer. Confronting the areas in which I had been underachieving was admittedly painful, yet revelatory at the same time. It was a kick in the ass, but a necessary and long overdue one. I found myself talking to myself in the manner in which Marcus Aurelius did with himself 2,000 years ago, when he wrote, "Enough of this miserable, whining life. Stop monkeying around. Why are you troubled? What's new here? What's so confounding? The one responsible? Take a good look. Or just the matter itself. Then look at that. There's nothing else to look at." And for me, that call to action clearly pointed at the dissatisfaction that I had come to feel with my career and the stagnated position I had allowed to materialize and then solidify. It was easy for me to cast blame and excuses outwardly to justify the things that I felt were happening to me. But as the writer Joan Didion put it, character, the willingness to accept responsibility for one's own life, is the source from which self-respect springs. The process of me acknowledging my shortcomings related to my career was the necessary first step in accepting responsibility on that front. I resolved to take appropriate actions to improve that station in my life. Whether that meant manifesting a move internally that addressed the areas of concern for me, or looking externally, was not particularly important to me. Rather, what I had committed to was taking back ownership of my direction, to stop monkeying around, as Marcus put it. As the year started, each day, Monday through Friday, I dedicated a block of time to making progress here. I revised my resume. I invested time developing and revitalizing my network. I met with recruiters and executive search firms. I became more vocal about my desire to make a change, to my boss, to appropriate colleagues, and with strangers, where I was forced to develop, articulate, and refine my story. It wasn't pretty at first. It actually was really rough. It had been so long since I had marketed myself, and the person that existed then was not the same person that I had become today. So I continued working at it. I started writing voluminously. I practiced my verbal articulation every single morning through the production of these videos. I found my voice through that process and became confident in my own positions. Several of the early opportunities that materialized fell flat for one reason or another. They just weren't the right fit. But I learned and I adjusted. And 6 months down the road of this process, I'm able to see the progress begin to materialize. There's still plenty of work to be done for sure, but I'm proud to say that the initial steps have been taken, beginning with the first and most important one, taking responsibility. Hope you have a great day. Bye.